Thousand Deaths is a 3D platformer where your choices change the mechanics and abilities you have in your platforming challenges. You play as 4 different characters with multiple storylines across parallel universes and experience tiny platforming hubs that are laid across a branching narrative. The story has 3 themes and over 3 episodes. So the first one is about leaving home. So it's kind of like immigration or travel. And the second one is about labor, organizing, and politics. And the third one is about romance. So it's, kind of like toxic masculinity and gaslighting and what causes breakups and what causes makeups, that kind of thing. These themes, they all have to do with interpersonal conflicts that we can all relate to. So this kind of familiar drama that we've seen in our real life, but these aliens are acting it out in this really funny way. At the core, the themes are kind of serious, but they're presented in this humorous way that is accessible to everyone, and hopefully everyone takes away a little something from these stories. I think one of the core mechanics that sets this apart is gravity. So basically your character can adapt to any surface they walk on. So they orient to curves and specifically curved surfaces. So we kind of contextualize it in really puzzly, calm spaces where you're kind of thinking about how can I approach this door in the right direction versus like more action-y levels where it's more about dodging obstacles and enemies, and it's more fast-paced and intense. And these levels are presented to you based on the choices you make in the story. Our studio works on a lot of projects with artists specifically, and they bring to us very, esoteric requests, which tend to be, using game engines, but in a way that they're not supposed to be used. And because of that, we're solving these problems for the very first time and figuring out new things. So we can take a lot of that and put it into our game. And vice versa, right? So because we're working on this game, we learn new things and kind of have these moments like, oh, that feels really good. And then that becomes a little piece of code we can like kind of distribute across our other work. So there's a nice cross-pollination between our work for hire side and our in-house team. So we have a time attack competition, and people are getting super into it. Especially groups of friends, when they come in, they all want to compete against each other at the same time. So we have 2 PCs and a Steam Deck running, and they're pretty much packed all the time. So it's been really encouraging to see that kind of response. And people at the later stage of the day are now into the story mode because they just want to sit back and like play the game for 10-15 minutes and let the flow guide them rather than like get really intense. So it's been nice to see that both aspects of the game, arcade and narrative, are being picked up on.